Fox News alert, we have a primetime exclusive tonight. The first bus full of migrants delivered by the Texas governor arrived in New York City today. So we sent our team to talk to them. But it wasn't that simple. Once the driver saw our cameras, he hightailed it. We stayed on him, chased him through the streets of Midtown Manhattan. Once we caught up, the migrants wanted to talk. But a group of volunteers were trying to get rid of us. They told the migrants we were bad people and they shouldn't do any interviews. They pushed the migrants away from our cameras and told us to get lost. But we stayed and let the migrants tell us what the Democrats don't want you to hear. Joe Biden inspired them to take this dangerous trip to America.
Where are you coming from?
Venezuela.
Colombia.
Honduras. What was it like crossing the border? What happened once you crossed?
The first border that I crossed was from Colombia to Panama. The third day, heavily armed citizens caught us. They kidnapped us for 4 days. There were a lot of kids and women who were raped. To be honest, it was very shocking. It was something I don't wish anybody else to go through. It was very hard. Even one of the people coming with us died crossing the border in Rio Bravo. It was really good because I passed through with political asylum from Mexico. We crossed the river and Border Patrol was already waiting for us. We were happily welcomed thanks to Biden, the president.
Are you seeking asylum?
Well, yes. We are a group that was coming from Venezuela. We've been running from political persecution. Venezuela is very bad. Dictatorship is very ugly. If the opportunity is given to me, then yes. If not, then we'll see what we can do in the future.
What is your message to Joe Biden?
We are completely grateful for the opportunity that he has given us. Thanks for the support to all the Venezuelans coming here.
There's nothing compassionate about an open border. Many of these people end up homeless on the streets of dangerous cities and used for cheap labor, or a lot worse. The only people who really benefit are the violent cartels making millions off human smuggling, ransom, and prostitution. But this is all endorsed by the Biden administration.
These individuals will be resettled across the country, just like generations of newcomers throughout our history. They will have the opportunity to enrich the fabric of our nation, and I would ask all Americans to welcome them.
We are an immigrant nation. I mean, we say that, but people act like they don't believe it. We are an immigrant nation, and that is our strength.
There are those of us who will fight for you and your rights every day. My message to them is do not live in fear.
Primetime doesn't have a problem with legal immigration, but our border states have been overrun by illegal immigration. Biden put Kamala in charge, so that's how we know he's not really serious about stopping it. We talked to Texas Governor Abbott last night. He says the state's full, and it's time for Democrats to start doing their part.
Listen, in any one sector in the state of Texas, we have more than 5,000 people come across that sector every single day. And so, listen, we're full in the state of Texas. Our communities are overrun. And I started busing people to Washington, D.C., when local officials could not handle the number of people that had come across our border.
Sending migrants to D.C. and now New York finally got the attention of the White House. After experiencing just a small taste of what it's like to be a border state, the White House got angry.
It's the latest stunt from the governor, another stunt of busing desperate migrants across the country, and he's using them as a political, as a political ploy. I mean, this is what he's been doing, and it's shameful.
You see, the White House wants illegal immigrants streaming in. They don't want them to be near them. Meanwhile, the mayors of D.C. and New York aren't holding up very well. They can't handle a couple hundred migrants coming into their city. Mayor Bowser begged Biden to send in the Guard. Today, Joe rejected the request. And Mayor Adams is about to get rejected, too. He just doesn't know it yet.
He finally admitted what we were saying. And we're going to continue to be open arms. This is who we are as a city, and we just need help from the federal government. We're having a great conversation this afternoon with the federal government to figure out how we can get this right. But it is despicable what we're witnessing in Texas.
Help from the federal government? You mean something like securing the border? Biden won't do that. He campaigned against it. When Trump was controlling who came into our country, the media called him a tyrant. Read poems about immigration to his advisors, remember?
The Statue of Liberty says, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. It doesn't say anything about speaking English or being able to be a computer programmer. Aren't you trying to change what it means to be an immigrant coming into this country?
Jim, I appreciate your speech.
They're all hypocrites. They're fine with millions of migrants storming into Texas, but can't deal with a few hundred in the Big Apple or the Capitol. When their borders are open, it's shameful. Have you ever seen people this stupid? Biden flies thousands of migrants from the border to New York in the dead of night, and that's cool. But Abbott buses a few hundred to the same city bright and early in the morning, and that's despicable. How many times have you heard liberals say they want illegals to come out of the shadows? Well, the migrants are coming out of the shadows. They're in Manhattan and D.C., out in broad daylight. And all of a sudden, it's an emergency. And liberals don't want to see them.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.